Alright, y'all, so your favorite rapper is in trouble again. Tekashi 6ix9ine just got arrested in Florida, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But on his paperwork, Tekashi put that he is white. WHITE, white. He's a white person for his nationality. Listen, people are up in arms now because they're like, say what? He identifies as white, but he goes around using the N-word all the time, everywhere. We thought he was melanated. We thought he was Mexican. Did y'all not know that most Mexicans identify as white? I mean, if you ask the white man what they are, the white man will never say they're white. But if you ask them to choose which one they are, they choose white. There was a documentary that was done on this. Anyways, that ain't what we came to talk about. I'm just putting that out there in the air. Alright? Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine is arrested in Florida. What was he arrested for? He was arrested for failure to appear. Months after he took a beating in the LA Fitness gym in Florida. Let's get into whatever details is here, man. According to Daily Mail, infamous rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine has been arrested in Florida on charges of failing to appear. New prison records have been revealed. The one star, whose name is Daniel Hernandez, booked into Palm Beach County Jail on Wednesday night, and he was released from custody 3 hours after he was taken into custody. So it's not like he's sitting in jail somewhere facing serious charges. So all the Tekashi 6ix9ine fans, you could calm down. Your star is okay. He's doing just fine. The rapper, who is 27 years old, has so far stayed quiet about his arrest. He hasn't made any big hooplas about it. His last social media post on Instagram story simply promoted a line of vapes. I'll be the first one to say this. We're living in a world now where up is down, left is right, wrong is right, big is small. You know, everything is the opposite. Here we have what we call cancel culture and what we call hating on snitching culture. Or that's what we thought it was, right? And then you have a person like Tekashi 6ix9ine who goes off and does what he does and gets himself out of trouble while sending a bunch of other people to prison. He's out of prison. He escapes a lot of years. And now he's more famous than ever before. His case made him famous, more famous than ever before. And now he makes a whole lot of money. And he has a whole lot of support. Yeah, he has one or two people that doesn't like him. But all the people that were bolstering and talking that snitches need stitches and get found in ditches, man, when they see Tekashi out in the streets, they be like fangirls. They be just like pom-pom shaking cheerleaders. Oh, Tekashi. The same hardened, anywhere I see, you better not let me see him around here. I'm gonna bust his ass. They see him, they turn to fangirls. So Tekashi is out here living his life. And like he said before, he goes around with no security. Well, now, I guess after that beating in Hollywood, in the gym, where he was jumped in the gym, that video, I guess after that, he might have one or two security guards around him. So this arrest comes months after he took that beating in the men's locker room in the LA Fitness gym in South Florida. Remember how he was squirming around on the floor? He was getting kicked in his face. He was getting punched. I mean, I'm not condoning violence to anybody, right? But it happened, and we saw it. You know, he actually took that situation and trolled himself and made fun of himself out of that situation. And that video went to millions of views all across social media, and he made money off of that as well. So it's like, if you hit him, he's making money off of it. If you talk bad about him, he's making money off of it. And he's still doing his music, and he's still collaborating with people who said they would never work with him, so on and so forth. So the rapper was sent to the hospital to treat severe injuries, including gashes, bruises, and swellings on his jaw, ribs, and his back during that altercation. Shortly after, the 3 individuals who did that to him, they were arrested anyways, and they didn't even have money to bond out. When keeping it real goes wrong, to be honest with you, I would see him and walk the other way. I'm not going to run up on him trying to prove anything to anybody and trying to be the voice of the streets. The streets don't care about you, man. Ain't none of these people in the streets are going to come pay your bond money. None of these people in the streets are going to come put money on your books when you get sentenced. None of these people in the streets, the judge say you got to do 2 years, 3 years for physical assault and whatever else you did to this man. You in there doing time in prison for 2-3 years, fighting Big Bubba off your ass. And none of the people who gassed you up and said, yeah, beat Tekashi ass when you see him, we down for it. You a real G if you do it, and you do it, not one of them are going to accept a phone call from you, are going to put $1 on your books, are going to come visit you even once. So it's all smokes and mirrors. Shortly after that brutal attack, the group of men who claimed to have beaten him up boasted about the attack on social media, and then they ended up all getting locked up. Right? So, with that said, Tekashi's still going through his legal issues, but here's the thing. I think that he's police all the way around. So he gets in trouble, he goes in, he comes right back out, right? I think I've always thought this, that he is a plant in the industry. You have to explain to me where all that money that he's throwing around comes from. If it ain't prop money, like he opens a trunk of a car, and the whole trunk of the car is full, and he goes, there go right there, $500,000 in cash. The next one, this is $1 million right here in cash. Uncle Sam always takes a cut of his money. Somebody just won the lottery the other day for $1.58 billion with a B. Powerball, I think it was. Or Mega Millions. And when it came to a cash payout, they only got $757 million. That's how much Uncle Sam takes in taxes. So where is Tekashi getting all his money from? Obviously, somebody is fronting him, okay? Somebody is behind all this, pulling his strings, and he is the puppet. I believe he is a plant in the industry. I believe he is put there as a undercover to discover things and feed back information. I believe he has a purpose higher than what we, the hip-hop fans, know about or think he's there for. His popularity dropped massively in 2018 after he was labeled a snitch for testifying to prosecutors as part of a deal to lessen his own time in prison. But I think that went back all the way up. He's came out and worked with stars, big stars, trending stars like Nicki Minaj and others. He faced an eye-watering minimum of 47 years in prison at that time for racketeering and a bunch of other stuff. Could have went down for a life sentence after he was charged with several crimes: the racketeering, firearm possession, armed robbery, attempted murder, all these charges, and he threw everybody up under the bus. I remember the prosecutor saying, the prosecutor was laughing, right, in an interview, and the prosecutor said, I can't discuss in detail what we're being told right now by the rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, but I can tell you this. All we said was, the more information you give us is the more we can leverage how we handle your time behind bars. He said he doesn't want to do any time behind bars. We said, well, okay, you're going to have to give us a whole lot of information. We'll see what we can do, because we know you know stuff. Enough said, so done. That prosecutor or the investigating officer said Tekashi started talking so much, he started putting people on our radar that wasn't even on our radar. He started giving us people that we weren't even interested in, and we would never have known about that they were into certain things if he had not spoken about it. So not only was he giving up the people who he claimed were his homies, but had turned against him and was sleeping with his girl and was in his house when he wasn't there. That kind of justifiable. But he was giving up a bunch of people who had nothing to do with his dealings, nothing at all. And they were not even on the police radar until he put them on to their operations. So he did what he had to do and he got up out of there. Police. Anyhow, if that's him, that's him. But prosecutors cut him a deal and he's out. And most of those people who he sent up the road are still up the road. So when you hear this news, just know the only reason he got arrested in Florida recently was for failure to appear. And he was out of lockup 3 hours after being locked up. Are you a Tekashi 6ix9ine fan? What is your favorite song from him? Because I don't even know one song from him. What is your favorite song from him? And do you still support him up to this day? I mean, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. Either way, I don't care. I'll catch you on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV. You already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.